Hey, what's up guys, it's Nathan here. Today I'm just going to tell you guys a little bit of a story. It just popped into my head, right? And I know a lot of people do stories, and I was like, man, my life is so boring. I just don't have that many stories. And then something came into my head from 7th grade. So here's a story. I was in 7th grade quite a while ago, I guess you could say. I was actually saving up for my PS3 at the time because my old one had broken. So, it was a while back, like I said. And what better way to actually, have a 7th grader save up money than to actually sell candy or something at school, right? So that's exactly what I did. One day at school, I just had the bright idea. I was like, man, I was determined. I had set a goal. By the end of second semester, I was going to buy a PS3. So I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? I tried selling other stuff. I don't even know, one time this person didn't have a pencil. He's like, what, I'll give you $1 if you give me a pencil, please. We're about to have a test. Please give me a pencil. I'm like, all right, fine, give me $1. Yeah, I mean, obviously people don't have tests every day and they don't need a pencil every day. So, that wasn't a legitimate source. So I'm like, why not sell candy? And that's exactly what I did. That day when I got home, I went out and bought like this big old bag of candy. And by the end of the day, I had sold pretty much half the bag, like the next day. So I was like, man, this is actually a pretty good business. I was selling it for 25 cents a piece. They were like little, those bite-sized Snickers. I mean, not bite-sized. Those like, fun size, I guess you could say. So, and that kind of stuff. So I'm just selling them. Yeah, I'm getting a decent amount, like about, I don't remember exactly, but I was doing a decent amount. By the end of the year, I would have had more than enough for my PS3. Let's just say that. So, I'm just getting into it. Within the next few days, by the end of the week, I actually buy a few more bags. And, life is going well. I'm actually getting the money in. But then, and you got to keep in mind that this is the first semester, right? And then I'm like, by the end of the second semester, I want to have my PS3. So, first semester goes by. Second semester, I come in after, Thanksgiving, not Thanksgiving break, Christmas break. And I'm just starting up again. People probably forgot that I sell candy over the break. Some of the teachers even asked me, hey, I heard you got some, I forgot what those coconut candies are called, if you guys remember. I forgot what they're called, but yeah, you got some of that coconut candy? I'm like, yeah. And it's like, you mind giving me some? And this was in language arts, keep in mind. And I'm like, yeah, sure, for 25 cents. And the teacher's like, come on, you're going to make me pay? And then the next person sitting right by me is like, all right. Her name was Miss Jackson. So I'm like, okay, Miss Jackson, I'll pay for you, right? And then they buy a piece of candy. They buy, Miss Jackson a piece of candy. I'm like, dang, the teachers are actually buying stuff now. I'm going to have this stuff in no time. And then time goes by. One day, by that time, second semester, I started selling it at lunch. So every day I would used to sit at the far end of the cafeteria in my own little corner and just like set up a whole bunch of like different varieties of candies and just wait for people to come by and buy it. It actually did some pretty good business there too. Actually more business in the cafeteria than other places. So you know what, I'm just setting up one day and I hadn't even gotten stuff out. I just get my little bag of quarters out, right, that I use for change. It was in like a plastic Ziploc bag. So I put it on the thing, right? And I'm just pulling out stuff from my bag. I haven't even pulled out stuff. The only thing I pulled out at that point was a bag of quarters. And there was only a few in there. This douchebag, like, I don't even know if she was a counselor. I think she was a vice principal. I'm guessing her name was Dr. Johnson. I mean, there's no point of not, like, telling you guys her name because she probably won't be watching this video. For all I know, she's probably fired at this point, or if not dead. But, yeah, so Dr. Johnson comes by, and keep in mind that she was new that year. So I'm like, And everyone knew she wore a wig. She was literally bald underneath, and it was an obvious wig, right? So Dr. Johnson comes by. I'm like, she's like, so what are you doing over here? I'm like, I'm just getting on my bag of quarters. It's like, are you selling stuff? I'm like, yeah, I guess. And then she's like, what you got? I'm like, I got some gum right now. And she's like, oh, really? Can I see your gum? And then I just pull out my gum. It was like, I forgot what they called those, like those orange wrappers. So I just pulled that out and I just show her a little, bag of gum. And she's like, all right, hand it over. I'm like, what? What are you trying to do? And it's like, you can't be doing that stuff at school. I'm like, what are you talking about? Everyone else does. I mean, I've seen people constantly for the past 2 years do it. There's no rule against it. And it's like, well, if there were so many rules, we couldn't write it down in the rule book. But I'm like, obviously, you could have said something in the rule book about not selling candy. The freaking teachers are buying candy for me. So then she has the audacity to actually take my candy. So she takes my candy. She's like, all right, you know what? Just come by my office. Later on tonight, not tonight, after school, and just get my candy, alright? Get your candy. I'm like, alright, fine, whatever, just shoot, what the heck. She takes my money, too, which is kind of, what the heck, like, I'm like, alright, fine, just take it. And that day at the end of the school, I just rush over to her office. It's like, all right, can I have my money back now and my candy? And she's like, nope. I'm like, what the heck? You just told me at lunch that I could get my candy back. And she's like, nope. I'm like, why not? Because, nope, you're not supposed to be doing that stuff at school. But I'm like, I wasn't aware of that. First of all, everyone does it. You're not going to get onto them about it. And another thing about this teacher, this vice principal, Dr. Johnson, she's like this kind of person. I've personally seen this, and my friends have had it happen to them, where at the time, Takis were like, Takis, however you pronounce those, they were getting big. So, people always used to bring Takis, whatever you guys want to call them, to lunch. And whenever she used to see them, she used to go up to the person, actually take them, like, just snatch it out of their hands and eat in front of their face. What the hell? So, okay, I'm like, whatever. Fine, so when can I get this back? And he's like, you won't be getting this back. I'm like, why? It's my money, and I earned that money, and there's nothing against selling candy at school. And it's like candy that I spent my money on. He's like, nope, just leave. And I'm like, alright, fine. I'm like getting late for my bus. So I go home, tell my parents. They're like, alright, fine, just don't do it from now on. I'm like, alright, fine, whatever. I was pretty close to my PS3 anyway by that point. So I'm like, alright, fine, screw it. But then the next day, all was going well. All of a sudden, during, like, pretty near lunch, they called me up to the front office. So I'm like, what the heck? I thought this stuff was over. And then I go up to the front office. My dad's there. I'm like, what's going on? And it turns out that Dr. Johnson, being a dick that she was, she called my dad, and she bought, she was like, okay, so your son's been selling candy. Here, I told him that I wasn't gonna give this candy and money back, but here's the candy and money back. So she ended up, in front of me, giving the candy and, the money back to my dad. And, on the way out, he gave it back to me. But anyways, like, right before my dad was about to leave, it's like, okay, so you're not supposed to do this. Please don't do it again. At least she had the, the quality to actually say please. That's probably because my dad was there. But, yeah, so she gives the money back. And on the way out, she's like, oh, you got a detention tomorrow. Can't even talk. She said, oh, you got a detention tomorrow, after school. And I'm like, what? It's like, yeah. She said it in the most, like, happiest voice. Like, that wig, oh my god, that wig, it probably would have fallen off at that point. She was so happy. She was like, oh, you got a detention tomorrow, like, in the smiliest face. And, like, at that point, I don't think my dad heard that. Like, he was already out the door, but on the way out, she tells me, I'm like, what the hell? And I walked to my dad, and it's like, okay, so she gave me detention tomorrow. And he was like, okay, screw it. He just hands me my money back, and I just go back, to class. And I go to detention the next day. I'm like, what the heck is this? I talked to some other people. The teachers are calling me over that day. The next day at lunch, it's like, so I heard you got a detention. Dr. Johnson was telling us about it. What the heck happened? You're not that kid that usually gets detention. Now, keep in mind, 7th grade year, I got into a lot of trouble at the end of the year, This happened near, second semester. So, second semester, I was always a good kid up until then. I never got in trouble. But second semester, I just don't know what happened. Time changes, I guess, and I just got into a lot of trouble. And, eventually, she was like, okay, what happened? And teacher's calling me over, and, like, to be honest, I was a teacher's pet at that point. And I was like, so she said I have detention for selling candy. It's like, what? You sold candy to us? There's nothing wrong with selling candy. And, yeah, some schools have policies against it, but my old school didn't. So, they're like, okay, whatever, just go to it, I guess. And the best thing you do is not do it again, I guess. I'm like, alright, shoot, whatever. And I just go to detention, and that's it. I guess. So, here's my story. I know it wasn't that interesting, but still, it was kind of a douchebag move. I just wanted to share this thing with you guys. I thought I'd mix it up. Like I said, I'm putting out some Counter-Strike, probably playing some Battlefield gameplay in the background, as you guys can see. But yeah, I'm just trying to mix it up with my channel. And like I said, this was a true story that just happened. Just some douchebags. I'm pretty sure stuff like this has happened to many of you guys before in school. And it's just how school is. There's gonna be douchebag principals and teachers that eat Takis right in front of your face, or take your money, or just give you a detention for no reason whatsoever, and just smile while giving it to you, like, happily, like, here's your detention, you got it after school tomorrow. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this story. If you guys did, leave that like, and if you guys think this channel deserves a subscription, hey, go ahead and do it. It's all up to you guys. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace.
Before we have a son, then we'll be